Hello and welcome to the Agile Parallel Development and Continuous Delivery Demo Series. I'm Naga Jayadev, an advisor in the Application Delivery Group at CA. Today I'll be talking to you about how service virtualization can help you with your cloud initiatives. So let's start with this trend of moving applications into the cloud. What we are witnessing is that most organizations are leveraging the cloud or are in the process of moving their applications into the cloud. This movement is at the forefront of the digital transformation taking place in today's application economy. With this trend of moving into the cloud comes its own set of challenges. If you look at any loss of access to the cloud, it would paralyze the speed at which businesses build and deliver their software today. Additionally, not all of the applications can be actually moved into the cloud, which leaves you with the challenge of having wires hanging out of the cloud. The takeaway is that the organizations need to provide for their development and test life cycles 24/7 access to applications that are in the cloud. And in addition, they need to set up environments in the cloud with applications that may not be there in the cloud. So this is where service virtualization comes in. What if you could build virtual services that behave like your real applications with the data you need and the performance you need to help you evaluate and engineer your software in the cloud? These services can be made available anywhere, anytime, either locally on your systems or in the cloud. You would then isolate yourself from the dependency that you have to the cloud. Let me show you a short demonstration of how service virtualization can help you with your cloud initiatives. So I'm going to play a day in the life of a developer. So I am working on developing this application called the Bank Kiosk that connects into various applications into the cloud. For me to be able to develop and test my application, I need connectivity into the cloud at all times. As I live in Chicago, 2 hours of my daily commute is over the train, which I can actually be pretty productive with. During my time in transit, I actually work on developing my application. So, as I'm testing and developing my application, and I have connectivity into the internet, I can log in as a user and I can continue developing my application. So, as you see, I have internet connections and I can continue doing my development and testing. So I can go log into my application, check my balance, get back, go make a deposit, maybe go deposit $40, and it can be all done. So my application works great. But invariably, I do hit a glitch. I lose an internet connection. So I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi connection off to simulate the fact that I've lost internet connectivity. What happens at that point of time? So now when I go try to log in as a user, and my application tries to connect into the backend systems in the cloud, I actually get an error in communicating. What this does, it affects my productivity while I'm traveling or commuting to work every day. As I have a virtual service that simulates the applications in the cloud available locally on my system, I can actually connect my Bank Kiosk to those virtual services. So let's take a look at that. Let me bring up what I call the virtual server environment. What you see now is a virtual service called the Kiosk, which would normally be deployed on the cloud, up and running on port 8001 on my local machine. So what you see is that it's been running for a certain amount of time and the transaction count is 0. What I'll now do is go back to my kiosk and change the location to where it's connecting into. So instead of the kiosk, I'll actually make it connect to my local virtual server. That's port 8001. And I'll hit OK. Now what I'll do is I'm actually able to continue doing my development and testing. So I can go back to my checking account, check my balance, maybe hit the back button, go do a deposit, Go hit $50. And as you see, my application behaves exactly the way it would have if it was connected to the cloud. It even says that my deposit of $50 has been processed and the funds would be available 3 days from today. If I go back to my virtual server environment, you'll actually see that the virtual service was hit by 3 requests that came in from my application. At the end of it all, what this helps me do is increase my efficiency and productivity no matter what disruptions I might face into the cloud. Service virtualization has been helping businesses realize a 50% improvement in their application delivery schedule by improving efficiencies, improving quality, and reduce their costs.